Hello and welcome to Final Fantasy Tactics: The War of the Lions. This is a great game made by Square Enix for the PSP. It is actually a remake of the PS1 Final Fantasy Tactics game. It's one of my favorites, and so this is going to be more of a walkthrough Let's Play. So let's go ahead and get into the game. Now, at the title screen here, there would be further videos that could play if you let it sit than the one that just played at the beginning here. In the PS1, those exist. They show they give more background on the story of the game, as well as showing some of the classes and the monsters. However, the PSP remake does not. It only gives you that little intro, and that loops very quickly, so that's why I'm kind of pressing up and down on the menu here. But let's go ahead and jump right into it and go to new game. I am Araz Lam, student of Evilis's middle age. You are familiar with the War of the Lions, no? It was a bitter war of succession that rent the land of Evilis in two. Here we first find mention of Delita Hiral, a hitherto unknown young man, the hero who would draw a curtain on this dark act of our history. Now, this game, being a remake, it was retranslated, and they used more of a Middle English type of, or medieval, apparently I can't speak today, type of English, so it could sometimes be a little difficult to read, but I will be doing my best here. But if I can't even speak right, then good luck to me. So his is a heroism of great renown, a story familiar to all who dwell within our land. So Delita apparently saved Evilis. But what the eye sees is oftentimes a mere fragment of the truth. Okay, maybe he didn't. There was another young man, the youngest of House Beowulf, long famed for producing leaders of knights and men. There's no official record of the role he played on history's stage. However, according to the Durai papers, the existence of which became known to the public only this last year, they had long lain concealed in church archives, this forgotten young man is in fact the true hero. The church maintains he was a heretic, an inciter of unrest and disturber of the peace. Which account is to be believed? Join me in my search to uncover the answer. But before we begin, might I ask you to share with me your name and the date of your birth? Now for this Let's Play, I'm going to go ahead and go with the default settings. I'm just going to go ahead and leave the name as Ramza. And I'm going to go ahead and just leave the birthday as January 1st. You'll notice that it does give the, or let you know that that is the 10th day under the Capricorn sign. This game uses the zodiac signs, kind of its big plot point. But also, too, there are compatibilities between units depending on their star sign, and that can affect how much damage is done, as well as the chance of inflicting a status effect on them. So, I won't go too into detail on that, but sometimes it can play a part in whether you're able to successfully do something or not. I never really had a problem with Ramza being a Capricorn. I'll go ahead and kind of cut myself out here while this plays. So the original PS1 version did have a cutscene there as well, but it was a little bit different. So obviously different technological level at the time, so the cutscenes graphics were a bit different. But also to the what it actually showed was a little different as well. Lady Ovelia, it is time. I'll not be much longer, Adrius. Your escort has arrived, or already arrived, Majesty. Please heed the good lady's words, Highness. You must hurry. Still in here, are you? It's been the better part of an hour. Gafgarian, you forget yourself, sir. You are in the presence of the princess. Mayhap bowed heads would less offend. You would do well to waste less time on idle pleasantries. You see, even the noble order of the Northern Sky cannot rid itself of vulgar knaves. Guard captain in these rain-sodden hinterlands ought not expect chivalry. We are in the employ of the order, not of it. Our pay does not cover trite courtesies to the likes of you, so... These three are apparently, mercenaries. Govern your tongue. Enough, let us be on our way. The Father watch over you, child. And you, elder. Uh-oh. That's not good. Milady, the enemy is upon us. Duke Goltanna's men? Agrias was quick to get out there. We are paid for this. Time to earn our keep. What is it, Ramza? You above getting paid to do a job? I'm a knight no longer, just another sellsword. Right then, to battle! Apparently we're a sellsword as well. Deliver us, O Lord. They bear the crest of the Black Lion. Duke Goltanna must be mad. Does he mean to start a war? You there, wench. You cannot hope to defeat us. You will surrender the princess. If not, well, I would hate to see anything happen to that pretty face of yours. A head-on assault, these swords of Goltanna, lack wits one and all. In that case, we should be able to handle this without you, Gafgarian. Mayhap you could, but there's no money to be made in that. Lad, Ramza, with me. Well, guess he's a good sellsword. He knows that it's about the money. So this first battle here, you pretty much cannot lose it. I mean, I guess technically it's possible, but I've purposefully tried to lose this fight before and not been able to. This is more of just an introduction to the battle. The game does have a pretty extensive tutorial section that I'm not going to go through. I'm just kind of going to walk you through the mechanics as we go. There's also a very good mechanics guide on Game FAQs that explains a lot that's not explained anywhere in the game. In terms of, for example, how much damage, or how it determines how much damage you do, if you're swinging a sword versus a knife, etc. And I'll just kind of cover that type of information as needed. Kill them all, leave no one standing. Or no man standing, rather. You would have us slaughter them? Are you mad? Kill them here, and you'll have played into Duke Goltanna's hands. We need only put them to rout. I find dead men rout more easily. Just very cold, Gafgarian. Very, very cold. And so you'll see here, there is on the PSP version some slowdown with some of the graphics for attacks. A lot of people, they say that kind of ruins this game for them. To me, yes, it's minor inconvenience, but it's just that it's minor. It doesn't ruin this version of the game to me. And so here now we actually see we get to have a turn. So if we look back at Gafgarian really quick here, you can see above his portrait in the bottom left there, he has the word guest. Guest characters you do not get to control, and they only appear in storyline battles. There's some other unique things about them as well, which I'll go over shortly here, but let's go ahead and have our turn. So on your turn, you can move, act, or just simply wait. Moving lets you move across the battlefield. You can move within the blue glowing boxes here, or tiles here. If you try to move outside of them, just show real quick, it'll ask you to please select a tile within movement range. Acting is how you actually take an action to affect the world around you. So you can attack, which is just attacking with whichever weapon you have equipped, or depending on your class, you can have different abilities available to you and what you've learned. So I'll go more into detail on how the battle mechanics work once we get into actual battles. For now, I'm just going to rush ahead here and try to get through this fight. So see, that slowdown to me, that's not game breaking. I mean, already the graphics are isometric sprite graphics, so I'm not expecting this game to be your top-of-the-line first-person shooter type of detail here. Maybe that's just me, though. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to do in this first battle, since you don't control any of your allies. In future battles, though, you'll be controlling almost everybody on your team, in most cases. You can see, too, that after a unit takes an action, there are little numbers for experience and JP. JP is job points. And what that is anytime you take an action that affects the world in some way. So you take away somebody's hit points, you apply a status effect, you restore hit points, increase a statistic, you get both experience and job points for that. And the experience is based on the level of the unit that you changed, whatever you changed about. Where it takes 10 as your sort of your base. So if you're the same level as your target, you get 10 experience points. If they're a single level above you, you gain 11 experience points. And if they're 2, you gain 12, etc. Now if they're under you, so say you're level 5, they're level 4, you gain 9 experience points. But you can never gain less than 1. So you're always going to gain at least 1, even if you're level 99 and they're level 1. Job points are used to learn new abilities and to level up your job, which I'll go into more detail about once we can actually look at those things. But that's basically how, like I said, how you learn new abilities and how you unlock new job classes. Another thing I will comment about this game too is that it has an amazing soundtrack. Gafgarian racking up the kills. And we'll go after the stocked chemist here. So the outcome of this battle, well, in terms of if your equipment gets broken, etc., doesn't really matter. So knights have abilities that allow them to actually break equipment permanently, or removing that equipment from your inventory. However, any equipment that gets lost in this battle will be restored later, since this is kind of just the introductory battle. Same thing with any items used, etc. So any experience or job points gained in this battle really isn't going to mean anything. Also, I apologize if audio levels are a little off in this. This is the first Let's Play video that I'm recording. So, it's new screen recording software and everything, and just gotta get used to it. So hopefully as we go further on, we'll improve here. But, oh no, one of our allies fell. So actually, I can just go ahead and discuss then that when characters fall or get KO'd, it treats it differently in other battles than it does here. But here it treats everybody as if they're a guest when they get KO'd. So they got the little stars above them. I'll go over what happens with a normal character when we get into an actual battle, and a normal character falls. Oh, I guess we saved the princess, right?
The princess!
This way. Be quick. And try making a little less noise.
I'll not take orders from you!
You've quite a mouth on you, princess. Forgive me. 'Tis your birth and faith that wrong you, not I.
Hold there!
Is it truly him?
I cannot be!
Delita, he lives? But why does he fight under the banner of Duke Goltana?
So I guess we didn't save the princess then. But now we're going to take a step back and look before the incidents of that day. Records of the hero Delita first appear 1 year before the outbreak of the War of the Lions. The loss of the 50 Years' this war saw knights returning from the front stripped of livelihood, their fealty to the crown and nobility abandoned. Many became rogues and traitors, men donning the thief's cloak and plotting treason against the crown. It was a time of great unrest for Evilis. Murder and theft were commonplace. Many were the young adventurer and mage who stepped forward to counter this threat. Of such, the city of Garland too saw its share. Now, in the original PS1 version of this game, real quick, this is Chapter 1, the Meager. The game has 4 chapters. In the original release of this game, that auto-scrolling text is kind of a gag that I've heard. I don't know if it's true or not. But the auto-scrolling text went extremely slow for the words little money. It went about the pace of L, I, T, yeah, you get the picture. And the story that I heard is that the programmers put that in as a joke because they weren't being paid a lot. Now, I don't know if that's true, but if so, I think that's kind of amusing. Sad that they weren't being paid what they thought they should have been, but kind of funny that they slipped it into the game. So, back into the game here. Another wing was struck last night on its way to Igros. The Corpse Brigade again? I wonder where all this leads. Delita, what do you make of this? I'm not sure. I have my guesses, but I'm listening. I think Duke Larg is coming to Garland. Duke Larg? Why? Not just the Duke, the Marquis Elmdor de Limberry, too. That's the first I've heard of it. This has not the sound of a state visit. All of Evilis is in turmoil. The Order's supposed to be keeping things under control, but the fact is they number too few. And they mean to bolster their numbers with us? Alright everybody, form up! The Order of the Northern Sky has an assignment for its Knights Apprentice. As I'm sure you're already aware, the number of brigands roaming Galleon is on the rise. Among them, the Corpse Brigade, a seditious lot with a grudge against the crown. Rogues such as they must be dealt with. The Order has been commanded to undertake an operation to eliminate the Brigade, an operation of a grand scale. We will not be acting alone. The Order will be joined by, among others, His Excellency Duke Larg's Royal Guard, stationed at Egros. This will leave Egros Castle undermanned. Your task will be to proceed there, and support us from the rear by bolstering its defenses. So we're being put on guard duty. The time to take up arms is upon you, young apprentices. I've just received word that a band of thieves routed by our knights flees here to Garland, seeking refuge. We will move to stop them and finish the task of our brothers. You, young apprentices, will accompany us. But this is but a squall. If I could read right. This is but a squall before the storm of battle. Prepare yourselves at once. Dismissed. And so we get our first battle. But that'll have to wait till next time. Thank you so much for watching. Let's play Final Fantasy Tactics, The War of the Lions, and I'll see you in the next video.